What's happening, SteelerNation? What's popping? Welcome to the latest episode of Terrible Town Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, live from the Steel Basement, and we got quite a bit to get into tonight, man. If you hear any background noise, let me just let you know in advance. You know, I got my son here, my nieces and nephews. They're right behind me. You know, they went out and did their little candy thing. So now they're just playing behind me. So if you hear it, that's what it is. But what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I don't know what I should say about today. Happy Halloween, I guess. I mean, for those of you who celebrated, I'm not against it. So I'm not one of those people. It's just that I know not everybody celebrates. You know, to me, it's just a fun day to put on costumes and get candy. So I don't know where the happy comes into it. I don't know. But anyway. Happy Halloween to all of you who celebrated or what have you. Hope you had fun doing whatever you do, dressing up at work, going out with your kids. Some of y'all might be out with your kids right now, or some of y'all could care less about it. So for those who care, salute. Let's get into the early commenters. Let's say hello to the early commenters, and then we'll get right to the action, man. Mo Swagger, Vista Light, Rajon 39, Lanisha, and Destiny. Early to my ladies out there, Destiny and Lanisha. Hello, ladies. How y'all doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Like always, fellas, make sure, lay out the red carpet. Do not forget to say hello to our lovely ladies of the chat. We always appreciate them giving us their presence, blessing us with their presence. Joshua Shields. Who else we got up in here? 412 born and raised. Gavin Carr. Who else? Amon Bozeman. The infamous Tim. Still got it. Okay, still got it. Bettsburg, Jared Devil. Carmelo Moody. Father-in-law, Mr. Langley. You know what? I am going to shout out my brother, man. I always say there's no need to shout out my good brother, Kenyon and Tony, but why not? Why not? We talk all day anyway, but shout out to my man, my homie, my brother, my Aries brethren, Kenyon in the building, and also my good brother-in-law, fellow diehard Steeler fan, my man, Tony is in the building. Mark Cunningham, Sade, what's up, Sade? Another lovely lady of the chat, man. Fellas, again, make sure y'all say hello. Hello, Sade. Appreciate you coming through. Like always, never take you lovely ladies' presence for granted. We definitely appreciate y'all blessing us, man. What else? Who else is in here? C. Antoine Hill, Leonard Green, Nobe 412, and LaKobe Kelly. What's up, LaKobe? And I guess we'll end it right there. Oh, 007. What's up, 07? He says 007 in the house. How you gonna shout yourself out? But I like that. 007 in the house. What's happening, man? All right, I think we can get into it, man. Listen, I got a lot to talk about, but I'm going to do it in a very short amount of time if I can. I'm going to be kind of all over the place, but again, I'm not trying to be too long because I want to get to the phone calls. Oh, shout outs to my good man, Mr. Winningham in the building. Good to see you, sir. Appreciate you like always. You guys see the title, and I promise I will end with that title, but I'll probably talk a little bit about that as I'm giving you my thoughts. In saying that, listen, this loss was not on Matt Canada. I know you guys are surprised at me saying that. But yeah, we'll get into it. All right, where should we start? Let's start with injuries first and foremost. Minkah Fitzpatrick, we all know, goes down with a hamstring injury. Mike Tomlin is already categorizing him as out for Thursday. That is not good, folks. I'm here to tell you that is not good because this Pittsburgh Steelers secondary it's a little shaky. It's good to see or good to hear something else that Tomlin confirmed, saying that Joey Porter Jr. has earned the right to now be categorized as a starter. One of the reporters said, hey, has he done enough to be a starter? He said, yes, he has. It's good to see that. We saw him out there quite a bit in this game. The week before, you saw him play a lot, so the natural maturation was now that JPJ will be a starting corner, and I think he's doing a solid job so far. Is he perfect? No, who is going to be perfect? But I don't think he's, in my opinion, that imperfect. I think the most imperfect part of his game is tackling. He seems like he shies away from contact a little bit. There was a moment, I want to say it was on that Ingram 34-yarder, where he just even coming in on the tail end of it, he's kind of backing away from it. He doesn't come with the bang, right? And it's funny because most of you guys would know I was at the game. Me and my son took him to his first game, and let me tell y'all, oh boy, did he thoroughly enjoy it. And I'm gonna tell you, man, for those of you who have children, or especially fathers who have sons, and even mothers who have sons, and maybe you bear that responsibility, but being able to come full circle and now being able to say I took my son to his first football game, and not only just football game, his Steelers game, and he got his Steelers, got his little jersey and stuff on. It was very touching. I would say that it was quite the emotional moment for me for a little bit, man, realizing that I am that now. I mean, of course, I've been his father for 10 years, but I'm saying it's these little milestones that you remember doing. I remember doing with my father and how certain things meant to me. And it was just, it was a moment I stopped and I looked at him and I was just like, man, yeah. Oh man, words can't explain it. Your parents would definitely understand what I'm talking about there. But yeah, listen, he had a wonderful time. Even though we did not win, it was just good because it was moments where he's yelling and screaming. It was cool. But anyway, talking about Joey Porter, as I said that, it was a guy sitting behind me that leaned over because, he heard me talking and calling out stuff throughout the whole game. I always make friends when I go to the Steelers game. And he was like, yeah, you're right. He said, look at him. That boy, he gonna end up being a Dion type. I was like, go ahead. I hope not, because the basically the story on Dion in his pro career is he didn't really tackle much. He was an outstanding cover guy, but Dion wasn't really one for the action. Even though I've seen him make some tackles here and there, but a lot of you guys would get that reference. But yeah, I think that's the shakiest part of Joey Porter's early career is it doesn't seem like he really wants to bring the boom. You know what I mean? So listen, in our defense, corners have to be physical. The Tomlin crew, they expect their corners to be able to be physical and help in the run game. And so that's a part of his game that he's going to have to get. And, he's big enough. What is he? 6'1", 6'2", 200 or so, maybe a little bigger. He's absolutely big enough to do it. So come on, man, he's going to have to fix that. But let's get back to the point, man. With Minkah being out, let me tell you, that's not good. And I will expound a little bit later here in the show because I have a new thing that I'm going to present to you guys that y'all probably will get a kick out of. Anytime you see Miles Killebrew in the game defensively, and that's no disrespect or shade to him, but just look at, if you get a chance to look at the film on that play where they called that bogus roughing the passer on Keanu Neal. I mean, Miles Killebrew literally let the guy just run right past him. I can't remember if that was Ridley or Kirk. It was one of them, but he literally just stood there and watched him run right past him, and then he's trying to chase him. And I'm like, bruh, what are you doing? I mean, whatever your responsibility was, whether that was zone or man, and if I remember correctly, I think it was man. I haven't had a chance to rewatch the film. I did rewatch the game, and it looked like man in that situation at first glance. And he literally just let him run right past him. Okay, Kenyon said it was Ridley. Like, bruh, I get it, but you just can't get caught standing flat-footed. That's never going to be a successful outcome for you when you're literally flat-footed as the guy's running towards you. You need to at least be chopping or backpedaling or something. You have to be prepared to make whatever move you're going to make, even if you make the wrong call. Maybe you backpedaling and he runs a slant or a post. It is what it is, but you just can't be standing flat-footed as this guy is just approaching you. Man, it was bad. And again, seeing it from the perspective that I saw it at the game, I can't wait to actually see it on the 22. But yeah, man, I'm a little concerned. I absolutely am concerned. Yeah. And then, of course, we hear about Kenny Pickett. You know, Kenny Pickett, he says we are leaving the door. What was the word he used? But he basically said super ajar. But it wasn't super. He used another adjective or what have you. But he's basically saying that the door is wide open for Kenny to possibly play. And I did see this at the game, man. I saw it for a moment and then I kind of took my eyes off it, that Kenny came out and warmed up. I saw him on the sideline with his helmet on, but I didn't see him warm up because I wasn't looking for it. But apparently he came out and warmed up right before the half, but I guess it didn't pan out. So maybe he's not hurt as much and maybe he'll have, get an opportunity to play. If not, I'm just telling y'all right now, man, listen, I know Kenny Pickett hasn't played his best either. I'm going to get to that. But Mitch Trubisky, man, listen, number 10, man. I hate to put that on him because he's technically not a starter anymore anyway. So I'm not going to call a non-starter just their number, because what am I expecting from them anyway? But in the fact that he came out and said that he was trying to make a play and he admitted that he forced it, okay, cool, you took ownership. But brother, really, you throw it in triple coverage? And guys, I'm telling you, at the game, you got to go to a game, and trust me when I say this, sit higher. I've sat close, I've sat further up. I love the perspective being high. And I'll tell you guys, for those of you who are familiar with the stadium, where I have been sitting for a long time is I generally sit in the 535, 534, or 533 section. It is the best view possible when you watch the game the way I watch it. I've sat down in the 200s, but it wasn't the greatest experience because I was on the 20-yard line. And then, of course, when the players went that way, I had to find myself doing this or looking up at the screen. So because I like to watch the play unfold, I sit up high. And let me tell you, even watching it live, myself and many others around me was like, no, because we can clearly see it's triple coverage. And it's this guy, man. This guy. And your little explanation doesn't do nothing for me. I just figured out to Allen Robinson. I mean, really, and no disrespect to Allen Robinson, but that's the guy that you feel comfortable just throw it up in triple coverage and see if you could push it downfield and make a play? Huh? But anyway, man, I don't want to start rambling all night because there's so much I could get into. Let me look at a few of these quick notes. I mean, I wish that I would have been able to take notes the way I wanted to, but I was at the game. I do have something on my phone, so let me see if I have anything on my phone that I don't have on screen here that I wanted to get to. Let me see. Because, of course, I was going to try to get to these notes on the post game, but obviously, I was in the car driving, so I wasn't going to be irresponsible and trying to read and look at the phone and drive. No. Okay, I had a few key moments. Okay, so most of the stuff I was going to talk about tonight anyway. So first things first. I already talked about the roughing call. How was that roughing? How was that roughing? And I'm going to spend 2 seconds on it. How was that roughing and then the hit on Kenny Pickett wasn't? I mean, they always talk about, you know, we see all of these calls about they're saying that the defender put all of his weight on the QB and all of that. Dog, Kenny Pickett's hit was the perfect example of that. Perfect example of that, but we get no call. Round of applause to Last King of Scotland. Appreciate the donation. He says the Steelers' last win over a team who made the playoffs outside of their division, 2017, Week 11 over the Titans, says 40-17. Thursday night, Rooney has to clean house. Okay, respect your comment, man, but, we know it's not happening. But I definitely respect your sentiment. I feel your frustration, but again, guys, I think you would sleep a little bit better, and I'm not being funny when I say that. I think you would sleep a little bit better when you really just acknowledge how your organization operates. We know some of these things that we're asking is not going to happen, and if they do happen, it'll be a surprise to us. It won't be what we expected. It would be a welcome surprise if certain things that you want to happen that they don't do. So, but definitely appreciate your comment there, brother. The refs were terrible, man. I mean, I did get a chance. Again, y'all know I'm late on Tuesday as far as viewing all 22. So just like every Tuesday, I literally only saw maybe the first 2 drives as I was eating dinner. I did see the first drive, defensive series rather. That pass interference call on, come on, man. That was not pass interference on James Pierre at all. I don't even now seeing it clearer and just replaying it. Because, watching it at the game, I couldn't really tell. It looks like he got there on time. They both went down to the ground. But looking at it on camera, dog, come on. And it started there. And it just continued. I mean, horrible calls. Horrible. They missed so many calls. It's ridiculous. Moments where TJ was being held. Again, the pass interference, the not calling the roughing, and it was so many others. So many, oh my God, that offsides on a field goal. Mike Piera even said, that's never called. This is a guy that's in officiating. Y'all know Mike Piera, if I'm saying his name correctly. He said, we don't call this. It's never called. Mike Tomlin said, man, in my 17 years of coaching, I have never seen that call. And then, of course, if you want to believe all of the pictures and stuff that are posted, I don't know. But if you want to believe all of those, it clearly didn't look like he was across the ball. It was sad, bro. Sad. It was sad. I have never seen that called and offsides on the offense. Like, wow. But listen, the Steelers didn't lose the game because of that. And I'm going to get into a couple reasons why they lost the game. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any of my notes that I really wanted to talk about. I think I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Nick Herbig. Nick Herbig has made a play in his opportunities when he gets in the game. He was the one who forced that fumble. That second fumble. The first one, shout outs to Quan Alexander. Quan Alexander blowing up the shuffle pass, getting a hit on the guy. I think might have been Ingram, somebody like that. And Cole Holcomb scoops it up. But then, as the Jags were driving, Herbig is able to make a tackle, strip, ball comes out, Steelers get the ball right back. Steelers also were able to get an interception courtesy of number 29. And I'm about to get into that here in just a moment. Number 29 gets an interception, takes points off of the board. There's stupid and horrible throw by Trevor Lawrence, by the way. I don't know what he was thinking in that situation. He basically gifted the ball to number 29. It wasn't like, and again, I'm sorry if I'm sound like I'm being harsh, But it wasn't like 29 made this beautiful play. I mean, any of us should have been able to get that pick. I don't know what Trevor Lawrence was doing. And on top of that, he attempts to bring it out the end zone and steps out of bounds at the 2-yard line or whatever it was. Kind of reminded me of number 89 when he fielded the kickoff that was going out of bounds. See, toe drag sweat. I don't get some of these players, man. Listen, I know it was in the heat of the moment, but again, if you just look at what was in front of him, he wasn't going to get anywhere. Just stay in the end zone. But whatever, guys make mistakes. Plain and simple, man. This is the reason why the Steelers did not win that game. They just didn't execute when they needed to execute. And now I'm going to go ahead and get into, well, before I get into my main topic, and then I'm going right to the phone. Y'all know the problem with the Pittsburgh Steelers? Do y'all want to know what problem the Pittsburgh Steelers really, really have right now? There are too many. Oh, excuse me. I said 29. See, and Kenyon, Kenyon reminded me this when I text him about it. 29 is so far in my mind. I keep saying the wrong number. I'm sorry. Number 23. Number 23. That's who I'm talking about. 23. But as Kenyon pointed out yesterday, he's like, man, that's crazy. 29 scarred you so much, you just keep saying his number. That's what I'm talking about. Number 23, not 29. Not 29. Okay, and thank you, Steely McBeeman. Yes, it wasn't 29. It was, and you have his name there. He doesn't have his name with me. It's 23. 23. And y'all know who 23 is. Well, let's go ahead and give a preliminary round of applause to Steely McBeeman for the donation. Appreciate it. Yeah, he said it wasn't number 29. It was but we understand. Number 23, man. Here's the problem with the Pittsburgh Steelers as we speak. The Pittsburgh Steelers have, are y'all ready for this? They have too many numbers on their team. Yes, I said it. Too many numbers. Too many numbers. There's number 29, number 23, number 31. There's a few more. Hold on, let me think. There's a few more. I had them listed, but they're not all coming to mind right now. Oh, number 34. And let's see. There's another one. Did I say 29 already? So let me make sure I got them all. 29, 23, 31, 34. That might be it. No, I'm not going to say that about Pierre. Number 61 is another one. But let me tell y'all something. Siamalu about to be in that category if he don't chill out. No, you can't say that about 37. Jared Devil, listen, y'all don't go crazy. Isaiah Riley is a backup. Y'all don't go crazy with just throwing out numbers out there. I don't put the number tag on backups. Yeah, James Pierre did his thing. Mark Cunningham says number 20. No, and this is just me. This is my personal list. I'm not telling y'all who you can't have. This is just what y'all listening to my opinion. Patrick Peterson is not on that list only because Patrick Peterson told us before he took a snap as a Pittsburgh Steeler that he was 33 years old and he cannot run the way he used to run, and that he's willing to play whatever role that Mike Tomlin feels and Terrell Austin feels he can be helpful. He told us that out the gate. Out the gate. So I give him a pass. I knew somebody was going to say it. Builder's Life says number 8. like I said, I'm not ready to call it on Kenny. I'm not ready to call it with Kenny yet. It's just my opinion. But Kenny is inconsistent as I don't know what. I'm about to get there. But those are the numbers, man, for me. Number 61, 31, 34, 29, and 23. 23. Oh, this dude grinds my gears. Y'all have no idea. What was he doing on that touchdown pass to Travis Etienne? It was a cover 2. I know some people are trying to put it on Joy Porter. No, that's not Joy Porter's responsibility. It wasn't man. He was supposed to carry Etienne. And he did pause a little bit, so I wonder if it was trap coverage, which Steelers like to employ a lot when they're in cover 2, or was it just standard cover 2? Either way, 23 was out of position, and he did that twice in the game. Do y'all remember? Twice he was completely out of position. What was he doing? Go watch the game again. Even if you don't have the all 22, go look at it from the TV view. I was able to see it from the live view, and I could say, oh, whoa, something don't look right by the way I'm sick of that dude, man. I am sick of him. And this is why I say we are in big trouble without Minkah Fitzpatrick, because Minkah at least helps a side of the field when he's out there, when they play him deep. You know, for whatever reason, the Steelers this year just keep Tomlin. I'm going to say Tomlin because I know he's a defensive guy. Tomlin and Austin seem to keep putting Minkah out there in the box. And they blitz Minkah too. I don't know why they take this dude out the post. I don't get it. So I'm not absolving them at all. Like, I got questions even for Coach T. And both Coach T's. Coach Tomlin and Coach Terrell. Terrell Austin. Pick a T. I got questions. I don't know why y'all take the best secondary coverage man or deep safety playing guy and you bring him in the box often. I know he's versatile, but you do that, and a lot of times they've been doing it on passing downs. Or they blitz him. Why don't you blitz one of them other bums? Excuse me, I don't call professional athletes bums, but y'all can tell how I'm feeling. Why don't you blitz 31 or 23? Because they not doing much for you in coverage. And now that Minkah is out, boy, that secondary is hemorrhaging. They are hemorrhaging. But 23 got the, man, I'm sick of him, man. And I was high on him last year. We all were high on him, and that's the thing. Your opinion can be fluid, right? It can be fluid. The eye test, I always tell people the eye test should be your guide. You know, just don't jump out the window. But your eye test can be your guide, and that can change week to week. And then when you have enough data, it gives you an overall collection, right? And some people might say, because I know what y'all going to say, well, what about Kenny Pickett? Haven't you seen enough of him? I'm going to say no, only because of his career. I've seen number 23 play elsewhere and on multiple teams. I've seen his good and I've seen his bad. So I can judge him as a player. He's not going to get any better than what he is. This guy's been in the league quite some time. Same thing with number 31. But with one Kenny Pickett, I'm still just waiting to see if anything will finally click. Because the biggest problem that, like I said all the time, the problem with Pickett is he is inconsistent. And I think the problem that Pickett has can be fixed. So let me go on the record and say that. The reason why I'm not calling it on Pickett today is I think his problems can be fixed. I don't know if they will. That is my only question. I'm giving him time to see if he can fix it. If he does not fix it by the end of next season, yes, next season, I'm just thinking the way the Steelers think. They're not canning a first-round pick after his first full season as a starter. They're not. They're going to give him at least next year, which would then be the year after next season where they have to decide if they're going to put the 5th-year option and yada, yada, yada. At that point is when they may turn to a different quarterback. They're not going to go away from him until he's had 3 seasons with the Steelers. We know that. So I just want to clear that up for some of you that's trying to figure out, man, why you feel like he caping for Kenny? No, I'm not. I just know the reality. You can say whatever you want about Kenny Pickett and all he got to go. He's not going anywhere to at least after next season. So I'm choosing to just deal with reality versus continuing to say every week, man, Kenny got to go. Man, he ain't it. He might not be it, but who cares? It's ludicrous to keep saying that, and you know it's not going to change tomorrow. Same thing with Matt Canada. Nothing is going to change as far as him being fired or whatever. It ain't going to happen. His contract is over at the end of this season. That's when Matt Canada will no longer be with the Steelers, I predict. Same thing with Mike Tomlin. For those of you who want Mike Tomlin to go, his contract is good through the 2024 season. So guess what? 2 things you probably can take to the bank is you're going to have Mike Tomlin and Kenny Pickett through 2024. If the organization decides to do something different after all of these years, hey, then we'll all embrace the new changes. But until they prove otherwise, those are 2 things I think you can bank. So in case you're wondering why you don't hear me rag and complain like some of you all do in the chat, because I'm dealing with reality. It makes no sense for me to say this week after week after week after week. It just don't. We all know the issues that we have with Matt Canada. We all know the issues that Kenny Pickett is struggling with. We all know most of the things that some people may or may not like about Tomlin. Some of the stuff that y'all be saying, though, is beyond me. Some of y'all just talking. So I don't pay it no mind. But, all right, so let's get to it. Let's get to the main kit and caboodle. This loss was not on Matt Canada. And surprisingly that I'm saying that, right? Let me qualify my statement by saying this. Matt Canada still is not my favorite offensive coordinator. Not by a long stretch. I think Matt Canada still had moments where I just did not like his route combinations. I don't like his route combinations at certain moments of the game. Like Tomlin says, the weighty downs, possession downs, and things like that. That's when he gets on my nerves with some of his route combinations. But I'm here to tell you, watching that game in real time at the stadium and then coming back and watching the game, rewatching the game yesterday, Matt Canada didn't really do that bad a job with the play calls. It was execution. It was execution, folks. It was lack of execution by the offensive line, particularly in the run game. Guys like Siamalu, the big-time free agent, getting his lunch taken from him. Guys like Chukwu Okorafor, getting his lunch taken from him. Remember that sack that Walker had on Kenny? I mean, he basically pushed him into Kenny Pickett. Literally. It was bad, bro. It was bad. Mason Cole, it was times he was getting his lunch taken from him. And listen, I'm not expecting you guys to make every play, no. But we're consistently seeing some of you guys getting beat week after week. Oh, and Dan Moore. Ooh, Dan Moore. Dan Moore got beat quite a few times in the game, too. In the run game, just piss poor execution with blocking. I mean, the Jags was just doing what they wanted, shooting gaps and just and the Steelers offensive line seemed to have problems picking up any type of stunt, any type of game action. They can't pass it over. I mean, it's bad, bro. And let me dispel a couple of myths out there, in my opinion. I don't know this to be fact. And my bad, guys. I'm going a little bit longer than I expected. Let me interrupt myself really quick and just recognize Maestro Fresh West. Appreciate the donation. Appreciate it. It's like this, man. There's some things that I see some of you guys say. Some people I have conversation with. Some of you guys send me texts, send me messages. And let me just say this. I'm not going to engage in conversation with people who are just speaking banter. Let me explain what I mean. When you're just spewing things that is just literally a loose opinion and you're taking that as if it's a fact, I'm just not going to engage. Let me give you a prime example. I'm getting all kinds of messages today about all of these players that's being signed, traded, right? Oh, we should do this. We should have got this guy. We should have got that guy. Why didn't the Steelers? See, they just sitting on their hands. They ain't doing nothing. Number one, that's wrong, because there was reports, even by Schefter, that the Steelers were in the market to trade for Chicago's cornerback. Like a big time trade for their young stud. But why you on the sideline saying, oh, they ain't trying to do nothing? See, that's why I never make comments about those things, because we don't know. We don't know. And furthermore, why are we saying that about Omar Khan when we was praising him in the offseason? See how fast y'all amnesia? Some of the same people that was praising Khan for being the man, calling him con artist, oh, he's making more moves than I've ever seen. Then how come all of a sudden now you looking at him like, man, he don't know what he doing. He ain't making no moves at the trade deadline. Huh? Have you ever thought maybe they didn't value some of these players the same way? Or, like I said, they were trying to make a bigger play. A bigger play. They were trying to go after the kid in Chicago, according to the reports. I don't know facts, but according to the reports, he had requested a trade. Reports were the Steelers were in the market for him and actually was offering, I think, a second round pick or something like that. They were going for a bigger fish. But y'all over here saying they just sitting there and letting everybody else sign players they need. Like y'all in the office, like y'all in the Steelers office and y'all watching them do nothing. Like, I don't speak things that I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? We all can speculate, but I don't speak so confidently about speculation. It's just not fact. And then people saying, oh, we should have signed that tackle from, we should have traded for that guy in Cleveland. Oh, and I heard this one too. Oh man, why didn't we trade for Rasul Douglas? We could have gave up a 6th or a 5th round pick. Do y'all really watch football? Like, why is it that why does SteelerNation think every single player fits, just automatically gonna fit? Every time. Every single time there is anybody on the market for trade or free agent, Steeler fans, and I love you all, but I'm just speaking facts about us. Why do Steeler fans think every single player supposed to be with the Steelers? We're supposed to trade for this guy and sign this guy, and y'all think every last one of these players is just gonna magically come in there and we're gonna be the best team on the block? Has it ever occurred to anybody why it is that some of these players are going for a 6th or 5th, 7th round pick? If they were doing so much damage on their current team where they couldn't live without him, they're going to demand more than that. Chase Young got a 3rd. And we all know Chase Young is a beast, right? But here's the facts. Chase Young has had some injury issues. And Chase Young hasn't necessarily been the monster he was. He's kind of coming back off it. But what I'm saying is, even him in his condition, in his youth, they only gave up a 3rd, which a 3rd is a good pick. But you understand what I'm saying? So if players that are going for a 6th round pick, even a 5th, they are not going to just come to the Steelers and be these studs. Like, why do we get that in our minds like that? What type of programming is that? I don't get it. It's crazy. Because I had conversations with people today about that, and I'm like, all right, you got it. That's your opinion. I'm not going to debate it, because clearly you're not viewing it from a logical standpoint. Rasul Douglas? Y'all think Rasul Douglas is coming to the Steelers secondary and fixing all our problems? And I know what the comment is going to be. I mean, you got to be better than 29. You know what I'm saying? Got to be a little bit of an upgrade over Patrick Peterson. Do y'all remember when Rasul Douglas wasn't doing nothing? You remember when he kind of got to Green Bay and resurrected his career? And if I'm not mistaken, was that 2 seasons ago or a season ago? You know, he didn't have that same season last year. That I want to say maybe 2 seasons ago, he was getting a lot of picks. I don't think he did that last year. He had a solid season, got himself a contract, and now they're ready to offload him. Even though his contract is a bit high. But again, if the value was there for them, they would keep him and that contract. Even though they got some other young studs out there. But y'all know what I'm saying. And that garnered, what did he go for, a 5th or a 6th? So I just don't get it, man. I don't understand us as a fan base. I really don't. I really don't, man. Yeah, Steeler Card got it. They said Khan offered them a 2nd round for Jalen Johnson. Not his fault Chicago didn't take it. This is what I'm saying. But Steelers Card, people was telling me the Steelers was lazy and they weren't trying to be active during the trade. But you know what it showed me? Let me drop some truth really quick. It showed me that this is a different Steelers organization in terms of GM. Dog, when we ever been in the running for a dog like that, this far down, right before the trade deadline? It showed me that Omar Khan is recognizing, yeah, we need some help at corner. We got the young boy out there playing now. We need something more than just Patrick Peterson to go with him. Love it. And this is another thing that I tell people all the time about trades. The Steelers can't make anybody accept the trade. Players sometimes have decisions too. They might feel like, because sometimes they allow, I don't know for a fact, I'm qualifying myself here, but I think when teams allow you and your agent to seek a trade, I think a lot of times the players is like, yo, let's try this team. I want to do this. This is what I want. If we can get this, then we'll take it back to the organization. That's probably what Roquan Smith did. Remember when he got traded and everybody wondering, well, why didn't he go to the Steelers? Do y'all remember our record? Do y'all remember what our record was when he got traded? Why would he come there? But everybody was up in arms saying it was the Steelers' fault. Oh, they ain't tried. Again, without having the information. So, sorry about that, man. I just had to go on that quick rant. I'm my bad, man. Let me get back to my last couple points, and then I'll grab the few calls that we got in the queue. Offensive line didn't play well. Period. They did not play well, particularly in the run game. They did okay in the pass game, but not great. They had some really bad moments there as well. We did not win the line of scrimmage. That is a big reason why we lost. Kenny Pickett. Let me take a sip of water, Kenny Pickett. I want you to hear this, but I'm going to allow you time to come closer, Mr. Pickett, so you can hear this. Kenny Pickett. I'm trying to be a realist with you. You have 21 starts in your NFL career? Or however many it is. Somewhere around there, right? 21? This is your first full season as the starter. You're young to the NFL. You're not young, quote unquote, for second-year player because you're 25 or whatever. People are going to hold that against you. But you're still young to the NFL. I'm still going to give you time to grow. I think there are things that I see in you, Kenny Pickett, that can be improved upon and can be reversed. I'm not out on you yet, and I'm going to give you a prime example of why. I look at a guy like Geno Smith, who was nobody wanted him, and all of a sudden, Geno Smith playing good football. Am I comparing you, Kenny Pickett, to Geno Smith? Am I comparing Kenny Pickett to Geno Smith? You all watching? No, I'm not. I'm just simply giving a story of a guy who was somewhat of a journeyman that people were ready to write off, and now this boy is playing good football. Really good football. Ryan Tannehill was a guy that, it just didn't pan out for him in Miami. He goes to Tennessee and he just finds a system that works for him. Got a little running game and, he's not afraid to air it out. Got a few legs on him. He'll take off and run if he needs to, and has played pretty decent football. Has he been great? Maybe not. Is Geno Smith great? Maybe not. But can you win with him? Sure. Do I think it's possible for a guy like Kenny Pickett to become a solid quarterback if he fixes his issues? I do, because I see physical tools. But I think what happens with you guys sometimes, the fans, you perceive what I say or someone else says about Kenny Pickett, and it automatically turns into, oh, you caping for him. Oh, you making excuses. No, just giving a simple assessment. I am not opposed of the Steelers drafting another quarterback at all. Who we're going to see Thursday night, more than likely. Will Levis had a phenomenal game. I didn't watch it, obviously, but 4 touchdowns. I'm definitely going to view it to kind of see, what he does well before Thursday. But, Brock Purdy was having all this early success. Not so much the last couple games, but what I'm saying is, I don't care if we had another quarterback. I just want whoever can play well. I do not have a personal attachment to Kenny Pickett. I'm just trying to be a realist and understand how this organization that I follow operates. So I look at the quarterback who's in the position and I ask myself, can this guy be better? I think the answer is yes. Will this guy be better? I cannot answer that. I don't know. He's going to have to show it, and he's going to have to show it rather quickly. This season. Because he's already off to a rocky start. And I'm going to get on you really quick, Kenny Pickett. Brother, you made some bad throws in this one. This is why I'm not putting a lot of this on Matt Canada. Matt Canada schemed Deontay Johnson wide open down the middle of the field on the first play of the game. I was like, I'm telling y'all, I almost missed it as I'm watching the game because I'm like, what? What are they doing? Because it's a tradition. What I always do when I go to a game, I record the first play. And I hit record, and the guy was in front of me, and he stood up, so I almost missed some of the play. And I was like, wait, they passed it, and I saw it at the last minute that Deontay kind of dropped it. I was like, whoa. Started off the game a little differently than I was expecting. But Kenny Pickett, the ball was a little bit high. But hey, Deontay Johnson, I'm not letting you off the hook. And hit your hands, brother. You got to catch that. Kenny can drop it a little bit. And I think maybe because that linebacker was in the middle, I think Kenny's idea was just, getting enough air on it to get it over him. But it could have been a little better throw, but I'm honestly putting a lot of that on Deontay Johnson, but I'm putting a good part of it on Kenny too, because you got to make that connection. It's got to be more of a perfect throw. And if you hit that, you never know what happens. I don't know if Deontay scores. 2 guys are there. But you would imagine Deontay makes one of the guys miss or something, and it would have been a big play to start the game. Momentum already in your favor. What if you go down and score? What if you get a field goal? It could have just changed the complexion of the game. Same drive. Even though a penalty would have negated it. But Deontay Johnson, I got to get on you a little bit. Same drive on that third down. Kenny rolls out after Chukwama a core four, slips and get pushed back. Kenny rolls to his right and throws it down to Deontay Johnson. Boom, puts it right on him. Bam. Deontay bobbles it, and then he allows the defender to make a play on it. It wouldn't have counted anyway because there was a penalty. But Deontay, come on, you got to catch the ball. Started that game a bit rough. But hey, thumbs up on how you finished the game. Kept your composure and had a solid game in terms of receptions and yards. Let's get back to Kenny Pickett. Deontay Johnson in the end zone. Kenny, you got to make a better throw than that. Was a little bit late getting back over there to see Deontay. Okay, it happens because he's scanning this side of the field. But you got to make a better throw. And I know some people are going to say Deontay slipped, but that ball was behind him. So if you want to put the blame on both of them, okay. But I still feel like Kenny throws a better ball right there. Right there. Put that thing on the numbers. That's a touchdown. You would think. Kenny, second drive of the game. George Pickens has this much space on a solid corner for the Jags on that corner route, and you underthrow it. There was nobody back there. If George catches that, it's one of those. Kenny, you got to make the throw, brother. You got to make the throws that we need you to make. And this is what I'm saying. This is the stuff that I'm judging you on, man. And I don't know. Accuracy. He's done a better job the last couple of weeks staying in the pocket, not bailing as much. But accuracy and reading the field is the key areas where Kenny has to improve. I think it can improve because let's be honest, Kenny has made some dime throws too. So he really just has to improve the consistency of his accuracy. But then the other thing is him reading the field. That's really his biggest issue. These things are correctable, man. You can correct that behavior. Studying film and things like that and understanding the pocket and the timing. I just don't know if he'll ever get it. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Round of applause to my man, Real Facts. Appreciate the donation. And I will say this, Gavin Carr, you're absolutely right. That ball was way behind Deontay, man. And behind George Pickens. I think you got it. That could apply to both of them. Real Fact says Pickens has his issues. However, I believe like Goff and Tua, guys who are who are similar. Oh, you said Pickett. Why did I say Pickens? You said guys who are similar. If we put him in the right system, we can unlock his potential. Yeah, that could be part of it too, man. That could very well be part of it too. You know, it could. I don't know if I could say. Like I said, I can't really say it was Canada this past Sunday. I'm telling y'all, man, go back and watch the game, man. Go back and watch it. It wasn't all Canada, man. A lot of them run plays got stuffed, and it's just I didn't really like that shuffle play to Connor Haywood. I didn't really like that. I didn't really like that. But Canada wasn't too bad in this game, man. Canada was not the guy to blame in this game. That's why I made that, again, the highlight of this show, because people always try to build these narratives on me. Like, I hate this guy. I hate that guy. I protect this guy. You know, oh, y'all told me I hated Canada. And some people even tried to make it racial. I was like, wow, you're really reaching. And here I am giving Canada all of the credit in the world for Sunday. It was not his fault. Again, did I like every single play called at a certain time? Maybe not. But Canada definitely schemed up some plays that got guys in positions, especially the one in the end zone. How we had, it was empty and we had the stack on this side and that route that Deontay ran and got the natural rub. I mean, it was right there and we missed it. It was a lot of non-execution, guys. A lot. That is why they lost on Sunday. All right, that's all I got, man. Let's get to the phone calls. And again, I went a little long today, guys, and I knew I would because, I didn't get a chance to really rap with you guys on Sunday after the game since I was driving. There's 4 calls in the queue. I'm gonna just say right now, I'm only gonna take those 4 calls. And one thing I did want to say, guys, I didn't catch the name. So if you can put it in the chat, please put it in the chat. But guys, quick story. I leave the game, and when you leave Pittsburgh and you're heading back to my area, there's this one, the very first rest area that has like Auntie Anne's and Burger King and Popeyes and all these couple other little places to eat and gas and all of that. You stop there, there's nothing but Steeler fans because everybody coming from this area is going back home. And I'm standing in line and I hear a guy say, Sim F. I was like, huh? Nah. Kept on talking to my son. Sim F. Lo and behold, it was one of you guys who watched the show. Man, I really appreciate that humbling experience. I was like, oh, wow, somebody's recognizing me here in this rest area. That was cool. But for whatever reason, I didn't think to ask what your name was on YouTube. So if you are here tonight, man, please say who you were. That was dope. That was dope. It was awkward because I'm like, what? Because y'all know, I'm not no celebrity. So I'm like, did somebody say Sim? Nah, they ain't nobody know that. And then he said it again. And I'm like, oh, it is a possibility that somebody here watches the show. So that was super dope. I wanted to shout you out. And that's why I spoke to you first. But then about a minute or so later, I came over there and gave you dap because I wanted you to feel the real love and respect. So if you are in this chat, please say who you were. That was dope. I really appreciate that. And it was excellent to meet you. And thank you for the support, like I told you that night. All right, man, let's get to the phone calls so we can get up out of here. First up is area code 302. What you got for us?
Hey, Sim, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's Sim from Sim. I just wanted to say, I don't think a lot of people have noticed this, but if I'm not mistaken, Keanu Neal, when he was drafted, was supposed to be this hard-hitting hybrid safety who was a run support. How come when he comes to Pittsburgh, we use our, all-pro zone safety, we put him down in the box to help with the run game, but we have Keanu here. I'm not really seeing what his niche is. And then in coverage on third down, it seems like he's, 3 yards right there. I see him give up, a catch plus rack. Tyler Eifert, not Tyler Eifert, I meant to say the tight end from the Jaguars. Gave him a big-time catch on third down and some rack. But I just want to keep it short. That was all. W show, Sim. And you are a certified celebrity now. People recognize you.
Man, appreciate the call. It's so awkward, man. I'll tell y'all another really a 10-second story before I respond to him. It happened to me one time before. Most of y'all know that, my claim to fame on YouTube was through gaming and through Madden and me developing a relationship with EA and going down there every year to give them advice on the game. So I used to go to EA Play a lot, or E3. And that's the first time it happened. I'm, in line. I'm getting ready to go backstage or whatever with the other people. And somebody was like, yo, that's SimFBallCritic. I was like, what? So it's strange. But again, the funny thing is, I told y'all I did music, right? But we never really reached that level of success to where people recognize you. Locally, they would, but not like I'm in another state and somebody is saying, hey, that's, you know what I'm saying? So though I have performed in front of large crowds, and like I told y'all, I've opened for Lupe Fiasco and Nas and LL Cool J, and the list goes on, I still didn't have that recognizable celebrity, if you will. We had a nice time, nice moment doing our music thing, but it wasn't like I was gonna go to Florida and somebody would say, but it's happening via YouTube. So still a little awkward, but I appreciate it, man. Like I said, much love and respect to all of y'all for watching. I literally would be nothing without you guys. But just to respond to my man really quick, and I know I'm rambling. Yeah, man, you're right. It always seems like every game so far, somebody's catching the ball in front of Neil, right? Number 31. And I'm not even calling Keanu Neal 31 out of disrespect. It's just like it doesn't seem like he has any real effect. You know, he was almost about to get a sack, and then he gets flagged for roughing, which was BS. But I say that to say, even when he blitzes, like, he doesn't seem to have any real effect. You know, it's like it's just, you know, he's just out there. Yeah, it's tough to watch. Next up, man, we got one of our favorites, man, Mr. Winningham, area code 803. How you doing tonight, sir?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Sam. You know, I think Chicago Bears is probably in their feelings a little bit, y'all. They didn't want us to hit them 2 years in a row.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
we
right.
went after a guy. I heard the reports that we were going after him, putting together a great deal. But they still feeling that effect of what we did to them last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think sometime when you're dealing with teams and trades, I think a lot of times teams don't like to deal with certain teams, or they just felt that, I guess they felt that we took advantage of them. I mean, look, they traded another 2 second-round pick this year for Montez Sweat from the Commanders. So, you know, if I was giving away a number 2 for a guy who was supposed to be pretty good, but I mean, I would at least try to replace that second-round pick. But they're in a great position, the Bears are this year, because to me, they did the same thing to the Panthers when they got their Panthers got the quarterback. But one thing, you know, Kenny Pickett, I thought that he would have a good year, especially with high percentage passes. I don't know whether we run that type of scripting the plays or working to his greater strengths. I don't know whether we're doing that or not with him, because it doesn't make any sense for him to digress this year so badly. I really had high expectations for him this year, but he's, to me, in my opinion, he's kind of digressing. You know, and it's not getting any better. You keep trotting him back out there on the field, but we don't have anything better to put out there on the field to replace him with. And lastly, I want to get on the offensive line. Dan Moore is the worst-rated offensive lineman in the league. And we got a guy named Broderick Jones who did a great job on Jadeveon Clowney. We traded up in the first round to get him. We need to get some of these rookies on the field if it's warranted. I'm not there in practice to see what Broderick Jones looks like in practice, but he's a powerful run blocker. I feel sorry for guys like Najee Harris, because it's making Najee Harris look like a bust running behind this offensive line. This offensive line is wet toilet paper salt. But I hope everybody have a great week. Don't want to take too much of your time, but I hope everybody have a great week. And it's always great that you give me this little bit of time. And everybody have a great week and be safe out there.
Man, Mr. Winningham, we appreciate you coming through, and definitely be safe as well. But I mean, no lies detected. It's sad, man. It's like you said, and you feel bad for guys like Najee, you know, because again, and y'all know I say this and I don't mean any slight when I say this, it's a lot of people who are just highlight watchers. They're not looking at the intricacies of the game. And they'll just say, oh, this guy sucks, 7 carries for 13. It ain't Najee, man. Now, I will say this about Najee. I do question his vision sometimes, because as you watch these all-22 these film studies that I do see some times where he'll bounce it too early, or, you know, he doesn't choose the right hole at times. So I'm not going to say he's perfect, but this O-line ain't doing that boy no favors, man. It's bad. It's bad. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, man. All we can do now at this point is just watch and see. All right, we're going to take 2 more calls, man. Make it quick for me, guys, if you can. Next up is area code 951. What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, Sam? Thanks for taking my call, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna make it quick. I just want to get your opinion on this, and SteelerNation out there listening. Am I tripping, or does it seem to me that the way teams are playing Steelers offense, like defensively, some of the schemes and the looks and the fronts, am I tripping, or does it look a lot similar to the way they were playing Big Ben his last year? Just watching Big Ben's last year, and then Kenny Pickett's first year, and this year, it seems the way they're playing Pittsburgh, playing man up, pressing them, kind of sitting in that little zone, just waiting for that little short pass to come out. I mean, it gives me flashbacks of 2 years ago. And I don't know if I'm tripping. Like I said, I'm no football expert or nothing like that, but I'm just seeing kind of the similar looks that defenses are giving Pittsburgh's offense. And the troubling thing is Pittsburgh hasn't been able to do anything to fix it, right? And the second thing I got is the offense fixable? Can they fix it this season? Because like you said, they're probably not going to do any big changes. So if that's the case, can they fix it? I don't think the Steelers have a bunch of bums out there. I'm not saying they're Hall of Famers. They're young. They got potential. We've seen sparks of that potential. So I don't think we have a bunch of busts out there. I just, if they can get something going, especially get something going in the first quarter, maybe the first drive, at least for once, to help that defense, because we don't want to waste the years of that defense while they're special. Okay, that's all I got. Thanks, man.
Man, thank you. That's a great question that you have there. I'll answer the second part. Because I can't really, as far as the first part, I can't really say because, you know, I have a memory, but I'd have to really go look at Ben's last season and, you know, to give a real comparison. But I understand what you're saying. I do believe that what's happening right now is our offense is predictable for one. They know kind of what we're doing, and they're sitting on it. They sitting on it. Like, go watch Baldinger's, Baldy's breakdowns. Go look at the breakdown that he did talking about, I don't know how to pronounce the dude's name. Y'all know the number 33, I think, is the Alamaku or something like that. But anyway, watch that clip, and he literally is showing you how him and Devin White is kind of, basically, they already know what's coming and how they attack the line of scrimmage. Like, I think, they up in our face. They daring us to do certain things. Our offense is not scaring anybody, and we're predictable. They kind of know what we're doing. That's what it definitely feels like. And can they be fixed? I think the way to answer that is it possible to fix? I'll say yes, because what I'm seeing is a lot of execution at times, even when the play call isn't as greatest. A lot of just one-on-one losses with blocking. If our O-line can find a way to block in the run game the way they did against the Rams in the last quarter, if they can do that consistently, and I'm not asking for 100 yards a game, just being able to run the ball to pose a threat, if they can do that, it opens everything up. So do I think it can be fixed? Yes, because we saw them do it against a Rams team, and I don't know how good their defense is top to bottom, but you did that against a D-line with Aaron Donald on it. So if they could just find some type of consistency, yes, they could be better. Yes, I think we would have produced more points. Yes, I think Kenny Pickett would be better. The question is, will it? That's the question none of us can answer. All right, man, last call of the night, area code 937. What you got for us?
Hey, what's happening, bro?
Yes,
man,
sir.
Look, I just want to, let me start off, I want to kind of address the previous caller. I look at it like, it don't matter if they playing them like Ben Roethlisberger or not. The offensive line stink. And it starts with Mason Cole getting pushed back, low snap. He doing the same exact thing Kendrick Green was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's sticking around. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, you know, and I'm so tired of hearing, predictable. Hey, man, when you play San Fran, what you getting? When you play the Ravens, what you getting? When you play the Cleveland Browns, what you getting? How predictable is that? You know they're going to run, but can you stop it? They show you they're going to run. So, yeah, it's predictable, but if this offensive line could be predictable and do their job and protect the quarterback, we could probably see some production out of the offense. Actually, we've seen it work in spurts. I don't know. I don't understand how these guys get it in spurts and can't get it for a half or a whole game. But, 1 or 2 drives a game, relying so heavily on the defense, which Terrell also needs to be on the hot seat because the back end of our defense is terrible. And it's not the cornerbacks. What is this zone that we play that gets raked every single game?
Yeah.
Third long after third long after third long. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. That's it, bro.
Man, great call, man. I can't really disagree with anything that you said there. Just for clarity, what I mean when I say predictable is like you almost know what's coming with us as soon as you see the formation. I think I'll speak for San Francisco. What teams like San Francisco do really well is they kind of they run multiple things out of the same look. It's the good teams kind of do that. The Steelers, it almost feels like, man, and it's crazy because it won't just me. As I'm at the game, I hear other fans saying the same thing. It's like as soon as they line up a certain way, we knew what was coming. We knew where the run was going. We knew it's like, but like you said, to agree with what you said, it all comes down to execution. It's just like I caught Deion Sanders' conference the other day, and Deion was like, man, because they asked him about signal stealing and all that, and related to football. He was like, man, when we played the Cowboys back then, you knew what they were going to do. You knew what Michael Irvin was going to run. You knew they was going to hand it off to Emmett. You got to stop it. And that's where I will agree with that sentiment that you had as well. Even if they know what's coming, we got to be able to execute. Remember that game some years back in Tennessee when Le'Veon Bell rushed for like 200 yards or whatever it was? And remember they had audio of the guys saying, it's the same play. They're running the same play. We were just running power, power, power. They could not stop it. So largely, and the reason why, and this is a great way to end the show, your call right there just made my point for my title of the show. This game really won't on Matt Canada, man. Matt Canada didn't have a bad play calling game. He schemed up some things that we should have hit early. We didn't. A lot of it was execution, bro. A lot of it was execution, and the Steelers are not doing it. They're not executing. That offensive line that was built to maul people, built to run. We're going to play bully ball. Well, we ain't seeing it. And listen, will they get it together? I don't know. Last year, they didn't really start getting it together until the last 4 or 5 games. I don't know if we can wait that long. So that's what I got, man. That's what I got. So I'm not really going to spend any time in the chat, guys. The show has gone a little further, a little longer than I expected, but I felt like I owed you guys some time since I couldn't do my real post game. Let me see. I'll read a couple though. Mark Cunningham says, Sim, my wife can tell what you're gonna do on most offensive plays, and she truly is a highlight watcher. You see? Yeah, it's just, but again, I don't want 937's point to get lost. I definitely understand what he was saying, but that's what I mean about predictable. It's like, guys, it got to a point where we were all in the stands every time we heard number 77 is eligible. We always like, oh, okay, well, they're going to run right, run left. Like, it's just, oh, man, terrible. Absolutely, Destiny. You are most welcome. Thank you. Thank you all. Y'all are the reason why I come on here, man, and do what I do. But all right, guys, listen, we got a game on Sunday, man. Kenyon, and seeing that Kev So Nice just said, have you played Spider-Man? It just reminded me. We still we're going to link up at some point and share PlayStation PSNs. I haven't been on the PlayStation in a minute, but I'm going to definitely try to remember when I get on it again, perhaps maybe tomorrow night. I definitely will shoot you a quick text. when I do. But the game is Thursday, guys. I plan to do some type of before play on Thursday to kind of talk about it. And yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I'm not confident, but I'm going to save my commentary for that. But I'm not confident for multiple reasons. Steelers can't stop the run when they need to. Yeah. But all right, man, I'll catch you guys then. Listen, if you haven't already, if you like the video, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel as well if you love the content. And also, once you are subscribed, click on that notification bell so you know when videos are live and or have been posted for your viewing pleasure. All right. That's all I got. Stay safe. God bless. Hey, keep your head up and watch your Steelers, man. Win, lose, or draw. We'll cry with them. We'll critique them. And it is what it is, man. Let's see how this season turns out. But I think I know what this team is, and I completely forgot to go into that tonight. So I will bring that to you guys soon. But all right, man. Y'all have a great night. Catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.